Hey, good morning, everybody. How are y'all? I'm going to post this video to my YouTube channel. You know, it's called Storytelling with Jess. I think I'm going to be revamping that a little bit, so I may change that name. Anyway, make sure you go and subscribe and like this video and provide me any feedback. But today I wanted to talk about a couple things. One, I have an intolerance, and I wanted to talk about that. And then there's other coping strategy that I learned about last night and kind of read up on a little bit this morning. So I wanted to kind of share that with y'all. So just kind of a side note, yeah, I didn't dry my hair yet this morning because by the time I finished my makeup on Monday, my hair was wet all over again. So I decided not to dry my hair this morning, see if that works better for me. And I did bring in another fan, so I've got 2 fans blowing on me. The joys of menopause. But anyway, I want to talk about my intolerance that I kind of struggle with. And that intolerance is whiny ass syndrome. I just don't get it. There's so many people that I hear that just get stuck whining and complaining and bitching about their dynamic and where they are and the things that have happened. And I probably come from, a unique perspective, and it may seem insensitive. I don't mean it that way, honestly, although I am intolerant of the lazy ass, whiny ass situation. But the way that it is, at least for me, I realize that a lot of places where I end up are because of the choices that I have made. I'm a big believer in owning your shit, and my experience with people that I call whiny ass is that they don't come from that same viewpoint. They come from a position of, you know, all these things are going on in my life, all these factors, and it's causing me stress, but I bear no responsibility in it. And that to me is just bullshit. It is somebody coming from a place of denial, coming from a place of just not being in tune with themselves, not having the skill set to like say, okay, I got this speeding ticket because I'm speeding. Not because, I was only going 8 miles an hour over the speed limit, so Johnny Law, you need to be compassionate with me and just understand that I can't go 65, I can't go 55, I gotta go 8 over. So if you will just understand that and not give me a ticket, everything will be cool. You know, that's an extreme thing, but I hope you get from where I'm coming. That my opinion of whiny ass syndrome is not understanding how you've gotten where you are, and it has caused you some choices. You know, on Monday on my video, I talked about how I had that Frankenstein surgery that screwed up my life, right? And that periodically I have side effects from that, and I get sick. But I also talked about in that video that I acknowledge I get sick when I don't take care of myself, and when I don't create boundaries, and when I don't say no, and I don't implement self-care for myself. I get sick. So while it may have started with a badass surgery, it ends with me having the knowledge on how I have to take care of myself. That's not being a whiny ass. That's being somebody that is healthy and acknowledging and accepting responsibility for where they are and the choices that they make. Whiny ass syndrome. Oh my God. So I was doing some work on the page that I helped moderate last night. And one of the ladies was talking about, or one of our posters was talking about not having enough spoons to manage what was going on with her. And I was at a loss. I said, what do you mean you don't have enough spoons? I don't know what that means. Can somebody help? And somebody shared the graphic on what spoons are. And so because I like a lot of information, I Googled and did my own research. So the spoon theory was developed by this young woman who has lupus, at least as far as I briefly read this morning, how I understand it. And she kind of developed this system of making sure that she has energy for the day. And she kind of starts off with a measurable item. And that measurable item is spoons. And so the example I saw online was that when you start out your day with 12 spoons, and through the chart, it takes 1 spoon to do an example of this task, right? So from there, I began to understand that when you have difficulty or stresses in your life, you start your day, you know how much energy you have, and you know how much you can put into it or invest, and how much you need to have left over to carry the next day. So the example was 12 spoons, you use 10 during the day, and by the end of the day you have 2 left over. That's the ideal model, right? So I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's cool that someone of a younger generation created that, because that gives me hope that whiny ass people, and I'm sorry, some of them seem to be in a younger generation, that there are people that come up with ideas on how to not feed into your stressors. Being whiny ass, right? To me, I get to where I am in places because of the choices I make. And I understand some people have talk processes where they have to talk stuff through and they get from A to D to process stuff, and then they're all good. But I'm talking about situations where folks are like repeatedly telling their story doesn't change. And when feedback or solutions or methods like the spoon theory, I had a brush hair in my mouth, are offered, it's not accepted. It's just deflected with, but you're not being compassionate about where I am. You don't understand me. What's more fair is for you to, acknowledge where I am, but just let me sit here. Well, if you want to sit here, that's cool. You sit there and not create or implement models that helps you get from A to B. I don't want to hear your whiny ass. That's the bottom line. And that's probably really old school. And it may sound judgmental. I don't mean it to be judgmental. I know that sometimes it takes years to get to a place to not be a whiny ass and to acknowledge and accept your responsibility in being where you are and developing those tools. What I'm really saying is, guys, develop the tools and don't stay stuck. Because if you stay stuck and you just have the expectation of everybody empathizing, showing you compassion because you're in this, lazy ass space, I think you're all kind of screwed up. I know I sound a little angry, but really that anger, it's not anger, it's passion. I don't want a world and a future of individuals that are stuck and don't have the skill set to move forward. Because those people are going to be influencers, or they're going to be folks that make decisions or affect our world and our social scene. So they just need to embrace the suck, if you will, and kind of stop just being a whiny ass. Old saying of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. There was a period of time everybody thought that was just harsh and not everybody can do that. I get that. But I come from the place that I believe every person has the capability of being resilient. Sometimes they just have to get out of their own way. So y'all look up the spoon theory. Tell me what you think in the comments. Hell, tell me what you think about people being whiny ass and whether if I'm off kilter of that or, am I right? Because I enjoy your feedback. All right, done with makeup, putting in the earrings. May just go with the hair natural today because, I prefer that sometimes more than straight. I don't get as hot with a hair dryer. All right, y'all. You have a great day. Take care of yourself. And try not to be a whiny ass. And find that system that works for you so that you can go from A to D and not be stuck. All right, y'all. See you next time. Ciao.